All right. My name is Michael DeLu, and I'm going to be your host today for Pull Up the Tape. Today is November 30th, 2020. We got 32 more days left in the year. I'm really ecstatic. I'm excited. We have 23 days until the start of the new NBA season. It's the final stretch for the NFL season. We got college football. Man, I am so ecstatic that I get to do this. Like every single day that I wake up blessed enough to do this just makes my soul happy. Any day that I don't film my podcast makes me really upset, and I feel like I'm honestly being lazy and cheating the process and the grind. But I'm back, and I'm just going to continue to try and stay as consistent as possible in everything I do when it comes to this. This is episode 41. I got something big planned for episode 50. I'm really excited because I feel like I just started this yesterday, and I'm already approaching a big milestone. But before I get into before I get into the politics of today's episode, I would like to ask that if you're listening to this podcast via any of the platforms that my podcast is shared on, thanks to Anchor, such as SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, share this podcast with anybody you know that loves sports. It goes a long way in helping me get to where I'm trying to go. And if you're watching this podcast via my YouTube channel, like, comment, and subscribe. It's simple. It's really that simple. Just like Jake Paul told Nate Robinson before he knocked his ass out. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's just that simple, all right? Now, with that being said, I'd like to get into today's politics, okay? So I'm going to highlight the most important games, or the games that I felt like had the most implication on, the playoff race and what we think, what I see happening in the playoffs and down the line, and as well as the boxing event that Triller hosted this weekend. All right. So the first game that I actually want to go over and acknowledge and analyze and all that stuff is the Chiefs and the Patriots. Okay. So the Chiefs beat the Patriots the Patriots. I'm tripping. The Chiefs beat the Buccaneers. I said the Patriots because, Tom Brady. I'm just automatically assume Tom Brady. Anyways, you guys get it. So Patrick Mahomes threw for 462 yards and 3 touchdowns. He went 37 of 49, so only 12 incompletions. And every single one of those, every single touchdown went to Tyreek Hill. All right. Oh man, and he also added 28 yards on rushing on the ground. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire rushed 11 times for 37 carries. Le'Veon Bell 5 times for 25 carries. And the Chiefs were able to muster up 87 yards of offense on the ground. Tyreek Hill had a monster game. When I say monster, I mean monster. Like, he looked like the boogeyman out there, honestly. He was torturizing. Just, oh my God. I honestly, when I seen him do that backflip for his second touchdown, I said he is a nigga. A nigga. Woo-hoo-hoo. 13 catches for 269 and 3 touchdowns. Travis Kelce, 8 catches for 82 yards. Patrick Mahomes connected with 8 different receivers. The Chiefs defense had 2 takeaways, man. Tyreek Hill had it. Oh my God, I honestly can't even just explain, man. That dude, everybody knew coming into this game that he's probably like one of the, just like the definition of a weapon, like an offensive weapon. Like, and it made no sense. It made no sense to me that the Todd Bowles, the Buccaneers defensive coordinator, how the hell are you leaving your corner? No safety help in covering Tyreek Hill. That doesn't even make any sense to me. Why? Why would you do that? Why? Especially after he keeps burning him over and 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 over again. Come on now. That doesn't even make sense. Somebody needs to be drug tested. Who the fuck leaves Tyreek Hill single covered on any play? I don't even do that in Madden. So why would you do that in real life? What a joke. Tom Brady passed for 344 yards, three touchdowns, 2 interceptions. One of those interceptions wasn't his fault. One was. One other one I wouldn't say that was his fault. He went 27-41. Ronald Jones, nine carries, 66 yards. Robert Gronkowski, 6 receptions, 106 yards. Chris Godwin, 8 receptions, 97 yards. Mike Evans, 3 catches, 50 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And yeah. And the Tampa Bay defense played fucking despicable in the first half, but in the second half, they got their shit together, and they only let up 7 points the entire half, including 0 points in the fourth quarter to the big bad Chiefs. So, and they held them to 59 yards rushing. Okay, and that leads me into my next point. Okay, well, one of my next points. Tyreek Hill is a nigga. Okay, like Tyreek Hill is a real problem. 40-something more yards, and he would have had 300 receiving yards in one game. The last person to do that was Julio Jones. Tyreek Hill is a nigga. Okay? I'm going to say it again. Tyreek Hill is a nigga. And whenever they doubled Tyreek Hill, which they started doing in the second half, Mahomes just simply went to Kelsey. All right, man. The Chiefs just have weapons on weapons on weapons on weapons on weapons. Carlton Davis needs to be fined. He needs to be fined. He needs to be hit. I wouldn't say cut him. I say fine him and bench him. Like, honest to God, like it's been a while since I've seen a receiver abuse a defensive back the way I seen the way he did. It has been a very, very, very long time since I've seen that happen with my own 2 eyes. I was watching the game like, wait, are they gonna help him? Because Tyreek Hill is abusing this man at this point, and I'm not really liking what I'm saying. Like, every time Tyreek Hill caught the ball, I'm like, the Buccaneers' chances of winning the game are disintegrating right before their very eyes. Stop leaving Carlton Davis to cover him one-on-one. That doesn't make any sense. You might as well let me cover Tyreek Hill. That's the logic. That's at that point, you might as well let me guard him. Makes no sense. These people get paid millions of dollars to coach football, and they do like this the dumbest things. Todd Bowles, you're not gonna call the plays for next week's game. How about that? Let's put you on timeout. Let you go watch some film. And you tell me if you thought you made, like, what if they would have done what they did in the second half, in the first half, they would have won the game. Oh my God. 2 things when it comes to the Chiefs, though, I want to address and I want to talk about, even though they did get the win, that is really like I don't know, it's a little discouraging to me, is in order for the Chiefs to repeat as back-to-back Super Bowl champions, which they're trying to be the first since the 03-04 Patriots to do, they have to somehow find a way to establish the run. They have 2 extremely gifted running backs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell. They need to feed those. Like, when they get up in games like this, when they're up at one point 17-10, 20-3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They have to start running the ball and establishing the ground. These 2 dudes that I just named are not scrubs. They are very good backs. I don't. First of all, I don't like the fact that Kansas City has, like, why sign Le'Veon Bell if you're not going to utilize him to the fullest of his capabilities? Why not? And why draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire if you're not going to, in the first round, if you're not going to feed him the ball? And when it's actually perfect, you're up 3 possessions. Start running the ball. Start pounding the rock. They tried to, but it didn't work. Credit to the Tampa Bay defense. But That should never happen. They have to establish the run, especially when you're up that much. You then must switch your focus to, okay, let's air this out, to let's play smash mouth football and grind the clock out. But the Chiefs weren't able to do that, and that's very discouraging. That's extremely discouraging. And another thing, man, Kansas City's defense is suspect as fuck. They gave up 17 unanswered points. 17 unanswered points. And they gave a touchdown on a 4th and 3 to Mike Evans. Why wasn't Mike Evans double covered? Oh, wait. He wasn't double. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what be going on. I don't know what be going on in these coaches' heads or what they be thinking, but I don't know. They just be doing shit that I personally wouldn't do. But hey, to each its own. The last thing I want to say about this game is the Bucs are not winning the division because the Saints won, and the Saints are sitting at 9-2, and now the Bucs are at 7-5, and they've lost and they lost 2 games. They're behind 3 games to the division leaders and lost to the division leaders twice. Yeah. So the Bucs are now going to Bucs will make the playoffs, but they're going to have to go on the road, and that's how they're going to try. That's how they're going to have to they're going to be road warriors if they're going to get the Super Bowl, which I honestly don't think the Bucs are going to get to the Super Bowl. Don't trust them honestly anymore. And the Bucs are a good team, not a great team. And I've seen it over and over and over again in their 5 losses, how flawed they are as a team they are, and I just don't see them winning. Maybe they'll get to the divisional round. Maybe they'll get to the division round depending on who they play. But as far as getting to the NFC Championship, I doubt it. I don't see them getting past the divisional round. And yeah, honestly, don't see it happening. Great game though. Great game. I wish I would have got to see Tom Brady get the ball back, but Patrick Mahomes made sure that didn't happen. So, to my next game. Now, actually, the Patriots. So, the Patriots defeated the Arizona Cardinals 20-17. All right, in a great game. I don't know about great game, honestly. From the highlights that I watched, it was a little skimpy. But, hey, nevertheless, we'll get into it right now. So Cam Newton went 9 for 18 for 84 yards and 2 interceptions. That's a horrible stat line. That's not going to fucking cut it. I just wanted to get that out there. That's a horrible fucking stat line. 9 for 18, 84 yards, 2 interceptions, not cutting it. Damian Harris, 14 carries, 47 yards. Cam Newton, 9 carries, 46 yards. Jacoby Myers, 5 catches, 52 yards. The Patriots defense had 1 takeaway. Kyler Murray, 23 for 34 for 170 yards and 1 interception. Kenyon Drake, 22 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Punched it in front of the goal line twice. Chase Edmonds, 6 carries, 29 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, very, very suspect game. 5 catches, 55 yards. Andy Isabella, 4 catches, 33 yards. Cardinals defense had 2 takeaways. So, I'm honestly just gonna. I honestly am gonna. First thing I want to say about the Cardinals is, man, they're a good team, but man, I've seen this over and over and over again, man. This season, they're just way too inconsistent. They beat the teams they're not supposed to beat, and then they lose to the teams that they're supposed to beat. I don't know. I feel like they're a more complete team than the New England Patriots, but somehow found a way to lose. And honestly, I'm not surprised that I am surprised, but not surprised. Kyler Murray had the worst game of the season. 170 yards and an interception. No touchdown passes. He didn't throw any touchdown passes. None. But he turned the ball over. And I can credit that to Bill Belichick. I mean, he's a guru, and obviously he's very good at taking what your best player does and just making that essentially a non-factor. But despite that, the Arizona Cardinals still could have won this game. But they didn't because their fucking kicker is a moron. Zane Gonzalez is a moron. the thing about kicking is just, and being a kicker and playing on special teams, you're only asked to do one job. Okay, if you're a punter, you're asked to punt. If you're a kicker, you're asked to kick. Granted, kicking is not easy, but there's some kicks. If you're a kicker and you're professional and you get paid money, not small money, big bucks, millions of dollars to do this, there's no reason why you should be missing those type of field goals, man. I want to credit the Arizona Cardinals defense. I feel like they played lights out. They played their hearts out. They tried to keep it as close as possible. But when your offense is inconsistent and plays the way that the Cardinals did yesterday, I apologize. Yesterday, you're not giving your team a chance to win at all. So, and you start to see that you see this a lot in not even just football. It happens in basketball. It happens in soccer. It happens in baseball. Teams get too reliant on a certain player. For example, the Chiefs are way too reliant on Patrick Mahomes. The Titans are way too reliant on Derrick Henry. The Ravens are way too reliant on Lamar Jackson. What happens when these players have a bad game, or things just aren't going the way they usually are? So is that an automatic loss for your team? Is that because typically that's what it sounds like anytime this happens? The Cardinals need to stop being so reliant on Kyler Murray. That just has to stop. They're not going to get anywhere doing that at all. And now I feel like the Cardinals just lost out. The Cardinals as well just lost out on their chance to win the division. Not that I actually had them winning the division, but there's a lot of teams that it's crazy because the Cardinals are a good team, not a great team. But great teams find a way to win, while the other, not even okay. It's either you're great or not. So if you're not a great team, you find ways to lose, and that's what they did. They handed the Patriots this W, a stupid ass penalty that pushed the Patriots drive down the field and then allowed them to score the game winning field goal. My God. The one thing I could honestly say as a coach that would just irritate my soul would be penalties, man. That's how I know. I you know what that reminds me of? We lost the game because of illegal procedure. Get your ass down. That is Tom Coughlin, okay? And honestly, when I was younger, I just always thought Tom Coughlin was just an extra ass coach or whatever, but the older I get, the more I understood and saw why he's the way he is. And I'll be the first to say, if I was a head coach, I would be the exact same way. I obviously I wouldn't love it, but if you got beat on a play, or you missed an assignment, or a holding penalty, or you gave up a big play or whatever, I understand that happens. That's football. That happens. Somebody's going to beat you. Somebody's spin move might be just too much for you to handle. Somebody might hit you with a cold juke and you miss a tackle, but penalties are something you can avoid. Penalties can be avoided at all costs. You must be disciplined. You must be disciplined. Like, the one thing that would drive me fucking crazy if I was a coach is penalties, man. And honestly, that's why the Cardinals lost. Zane Gonzalez and penalties, okay? The Cardinals need to get it together. I want them to make the playoffs because I want to see Kyler in the playoffs. I think they're a good enough team. I think they played good enough to win and to be in the playoffs. But obviously, that's just because you play good enough and all that stuff doesn't guarantee you're going to the playoffs. But I want them to go to playoffs. I want to see them in the playoffs. I like the Cardinals as a team. I like the Cardinals organization. I like what they have brewing. I like what they have going on. But props to the Patriots. for getting a W and keeping their playoff hopes alive. The Patriots can't. If the Patriots run the table, they can squeak into the playoffs, and I would love to see that happen. But they're not getting any help from the Dolphins or the Bills because they continue to win. They're like, yeah, fuck the Patriots. Oh, somebody else gonna win. Somebody else gonna win the division this year. So, on to my next game. The Titans. So they smashed the Colts 45-26, thanks to Derrick Henry. King Henry. Thanks to Derrick Henry. So Ryan Tannehill, not very pedestrian. You know, he did his job. 13 for 22, 221 yards, 1 touchdown. King Henry, 27 carries, 178 yards, 3 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 4 receptions, 98 yards, a touchdown. Corey Davis, 3 catches, 70 yards. Titans defense forced 1 turnover. Phillip Rivers, 24 for 42, 295, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Nyheim Hines, 10 carries, 29 yards. Colts were only able to muster up 56 yards of offense on the ground. T.Y. Hilton, 4 catches, 81 yards. Nyheim Hines, 8 catches, 66 yards. And honestly, this talk and story of the game, of this game, is just fucking Derrick Henry, man. Derrick Henry. Why are you like this? Why are you a bully? Why are you a bully, Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry is an issue. Derrick Henry is really an issue. Like, this man had 3 touchdowns in the first half. 6.6 average of 6.6 per carry against the best rushing defense in the league. Honestly, legitimately, the Titans played their best game of the season yesterday. Their best game of the season by far. By far. Like, Yes, the Colts had a lot of injuries or whatever on the defensive side of the ball, and they were missing Jonathan Taylor. It honestly wouldn't, like, from what I saw yesterday, it wouldn't have mattered. Derrick Henry was doing whatever he wanted. Oh my God. The Colts defense just was getting gashed play after play after play after play. And honestly, I felt bad for them. Like, when Derrick Henry gets going, I feel bad for whatever defense is playing against him because there's really no – it's so hard to stop him. Like, the last time I honestly feel like a team has neutralized Derrick Henry, it's like it doesn't happen often. And the last time I could honestly remember him, like, being neutralized was – I think, was it against the Colts earlier this season? 2 weeks ago? But before then, I would have to say the AFC Championship, and that was in January. Yeah, I don't know. The Titans came to play. I'm pretty sure they had in mind what happened on Thursday night on national television not too long ago. I think it was probably like 2-3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't too long when the Colts came into Nashville and socked them in the mouth. And definitely the Titans came to play. The Titans played their best game of the season. Like, I really can't. Mike Vrabel and his staff, props to you guys, man. It's crazy to see, like, you know, Tennessee's really turned this whole situation around. Last year, it looked like, you know, they were a fluky team. They squeaked into playoffs. They somehow beat the Patriots and then beat the Ravens, whatever. And, you know, if anybody was trying to discredit that run or anything like that, the Titans right now this season, every week, are proving that was no fluke. That was no fluke. Derrick Henry is a nigga. Derrick Henry is a nigga. He is him. Derrick Henry is him. All right. Enough said. I can't wait to see what else he has in store for the rest of the season, man. God damn. Hey, if you're a fantasy owner and you have Derrick Henry on your team, congratulations. I know you had if you somehow managed to lose with Derrick Henry on your fantasy team, you're horrible. You are stupid. You might be one of the worst fantasy football team owners ever. If you have Derrick Henry on your team and you somehow manage to lose, you're horrible. All right. So I want to get into my last topic of today. So Triller had a boxing event on Saturday, and I honestly just want to give my opinion on what I saw, and then I'm just going to wrap up today's podcast. All right, so Jake Paul fought Nate Robinson, and he knocked him the fuck out, okay? Nate Robinson was the brunt of everybody's jokes on Saturday, Sunday, and probably still today. And here, three things I want to say. One, damn it, Nate. Why the fuck did you call? Wait. Nate. You getting knocked out in a fight is not bad. But it's really, really bad when you called the person out. Okay? It's like me going to somebody's house, causing up I walk into somebody's house, you know what I mean? I go there, I'm like, hey, come outside, nigga, I need your hands, I need the fade, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just causing up a storm, a fracas, I'm just creating all this unnecessary noise, and then the dude just comes outside and beats my ass and then just walks back into his home. Okay? That would make me look crazy and look bad. Okay? When you call somebody out, you better be ready to back it up. 2, who the fuck trained Nate Robinson? Who? Why? Who trained Nate Robinson? If I was Nate Robinson, if I trained Nate, I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed if I trained Nate Robinson and my fighter went out like that. Honest to God, that was one of the worst knockouts I've ever seen in boxing history. I can't say MMA or because I've seen crazier knockouts than that. But in terms of boxing, in the years how long I've been watching boxing, that was one of the worst knockouts I've ever seen. His body bounced up and then he went straight to sleep. Like he got hit and like the way he fed. Oh my God. Oh my God. That shit was terrible. And 3, it was obvious that after Nate Robinson took that blow to the back of the head that the fight changed drastically after that. Like it was very bad. Like honestly, Nate, even when the ref said give me your gloves, Nate struggled to give the ref his gloves. And at that point I was like, man, Nate's going to get hurt. Like, and Jake isn't a pushover. He's not scrawny like Ryan Garcia. He's kind of strong. I've seen videos of him sparring, and he hits pretty hard, and he really beat up his shit. And I just wish that Nate would have his corner would have thrown in a towel or something, because one, he got hit in the back of the head. That's actually very, very dangerous, and it's a legal hit. I don't understand why the ref didn't actually intervene and say something or like it just, a lot of things weren't making sense to me and weren't adding up. Not surprised that happened the way it did. Nate was already getting pushed around and beat up on and toyed. Like it was very bad. It was already very bad. Okay. But it went from bad to terrible. And it went from terrible to horrific. And from horrific to catastrophic to, oh my fucking God, what the fuck did I just witness? Damn, Nate. Damn. And I'm not even gonna talk about the two uncles going at it. That shit was boring. That shit was whack. Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson, that shit was terrible. Oh my God. Please, never again. Oh my God, that was one of the worst fights I've ever seen in my life. Jesus Christ, Jesus, shit was terrible. But nevertheless, it was a fight. I'm happy. I'm happy that happened. I mean, I don't know. I'm happy I didn't have to pay $50 full price for that event because, woof. It's funny because how Nate Robinson's fight ended is how I thought the two uncles fight was gonna end. But hey, life is full of life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you'll get. It's full of surprises. And with that being said, that concludes episode 41 of Pull Up the Tape. My name is Michael DeLu. I want to thank you guys for whoever's been supporting me since I started this. I really do appreciate you. I really do want to thank you. It really does mean a lot. Words can't even explain how my gratitude for the people who are supporting me. I have 44 subscribers right now. I can't wait to have 100. Can't wait to have 1,000. I can't wait to have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Continue to support me. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. Every single day I wake up trying to improve this podcast and exactly what I have going on. With that being said, thank you so much. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, support, share, and share again. And yeah, viral movie, shake the room, and bow. Episode 42 coming tomorrow.